Okay, so we ended the last directed exercise, ERW Advanced Directed Exercise number 1, Review Reporting Writing Skills, when we were having trouble with our level break footer. So we're going to try it again, and I'm going to talk us through it. So with the application open in design mode, the R5503BER, we are going to highlight the invoice section, and then we're going to go to section create, excuse me, with it highlighted, section create level break footer. And we're going to select the group section. Okay, we're still going to break it based on address book number. So I'm going to highlight address book number and hit next. And what we want to do is we want to add total of open amount and total of discount amount. So I'm going to select total of and wait to see if the operand opens up after a while. So I waited a long time, nothing happened. So we're going to abandon aggregates, but know that in the directed screens and in this after the fact screen of the level break footer, the aggregates option did not show up. So we are going to abandon that. Let's see what I have here. Yeah, there's no option here. No option to do aggregate. So I'm going to do it manually here. And so let's talk this through. Is this invoice stock section is going to read a record. It's going to grab an open amount, and then we're going to calculate a discount amount, and we want those amounts to be tallied. And so we're going to do that in event rules. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a number amount for both the discount amount and the open amount, and I'm going to name them level break footer total open amount. And then this one I'm going to call level break footer total discount amount. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to talk. So in the section, it's like a loop. It's like a loop until the address book number changes. And so when the address book number changes, I want to initialize the open amount, and I'm going to create some variables, total open amount, total discount amount, and I'm going to set them to 0. So I'm going to Didn't mean to maximize that, but whenever this on address level break header changes, I am going to create two variables, and I'm going to set them equal to 0. So I'm just going to use AAP variable, which is the amount open variable. And I'm going to say I want it to exist when the report's there. And so the naming convention we're going to use is MN total amount open, and then underscore AAP, so we know what kind of data dictionary item it is. And I'm going to say finish, and then I'm going to add another AAP. And before I do that, I'm going to change the name on this one. I'm going to edit it because I want it to say total open amount. Finish. And then I'm going to add another AAP that we call MN for mathemeric total discount amount. And it's also data dictionary item AAP. I want it the scope to be report. I want it to be alive during the life of the report, not the section or just the event. So I'm going to say finish. So I have these two variables. Now that I've created the variables in this do section, like every time the level break header runs, it means I've hit a new address book number. I'm going to set those values, which are going to be all the way down at the bottom here, to a 0. Say okay. And just for ease, I'm going to copy it. Now, I'm over in the expression manager. I need to drop back to the assignment manager, change it to the open amount, but then go back to the expression manager before I hit the OK button. And so I have set both the total discount amount and the total open amount to 0. Okay. And that's in the level break header. Now, in the regular section, I'm going to go to the after last object printed. So now this is right after I've sent this record to this individual record to the PDF, and then I'm going to sit there and say that total open amount, and I'm going to go to expression manager, equals the total open amount plus, and then I'm going to grab the variable, which is the BC open amount. So we have the total open amount equals the total open amount, what it was. The new total open amount equals what it was plus the amount open. So I'm continually adding more to that open amount so that it's a running tally of my open amount. And I'm going to do the same thing for my discount amount. The only problem is my discount amount is not going to be a business view field. So it's going to be slightly different. So my, all the way at the bottom, my discount amount equals, go to expression manager, and I'm going to go discount amount plus, and then I have to work back because it's no longer a BC value, it's an RV value, an RV discount amount. And then I'm going to say, okay. All right. So now what I have, when we get down to this level break footer, I now have the right amount in those total fields. So in the level break footer, I'm going to go to event rules and go to the do section. And I'm going to set that total amount. I'm going to set the variables, which are my RV, LBF, total amount open. I'm going to set that equal to my total open amount variable. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other field. The report variable total discount amount equals the total discount amount variable. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now in the directive, it wants us to have a single line over both totals. So I'm going to go in here to style, is it style? And I'm going to remove the no lines, and I'm going to say I want a single line over and say okay for both of these. Sorry. Single line over and say okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then I'm going to run it to see that it's working. So I'm going to jump back to Object Management Workbench, go to version list, and run. And okay, so now here is customer number AB common, and it looks like it has a whole bunch, and then it has numbers down here. Here might be an easy one to check the numbers. So this looks like for 5,057, which is correct, 175. So it looks like the totals are working. And one of the things, if you haven't initialized it at the level break header to 0, what'll happen is it'll continue totaling. And so this total number down here might be 10,125.25, you know, because it hasn't reset from the previous level break back to 0. And so this number is added to this number. And so that is a very common mistake. Okay, so it looks like we have that in there. And hopefully I can get on a full client version and get you guys to where you can see this actually work with the using aggregates instead of doing it manually like that. But there are going to be many times where you have to do that kind of manual manipulation of, in your section, you will continually say total equals total plus the filled amount. In the level break footer, you're going to say on the do section that this RV variable equals that total amount. And then on the level break header, you're going to initialize that total amount back to 0. So with the header running at the beginning, it'll be, I'm setting it to 0, I'm adding, and then I'm displaying. And then I'm resetting it back to 0 for the next group of records.